Hello everyone, myself Alfia Qureshi. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video we'll be discussing about the movements of shoulder joint and some clinical points, and then we have two more joints left, that is elbow and wrist joints. And after that I want you guys to let me know that should I cover some more topics from upper limb or should I start the head neck part. So now let's get into the video. So our today's topic is the movements of shoulder joint. Okay, movements of shoulder joint. So there are total 7 movements. Let's name them. First is flexion, second is extension, third is abduction, fourth is adduction, then we have medial rotation and lateral rotation, and the last, the combination of all these movements is circumduction. Okay, circumduction. So to explain you guys the movements clearly, I have made this little model. So the flexion is basically when two flexor surfaces come closer to each other. So this is the flexor surface of your arm and this is the flexor or ventral surface of your body. When these two come in contact with each other like this or like this, this is the flexion. Okay, this one is the flexion, or this, you can say this one is the flexion. Okay, when two flexor surfaces come closer, and when from this flexed position you bring your arm back to the normal position, it is extension. Okay, so we have done flexion, extension. Now abduction. Abduction is when you move your arm or any part of your body away from the midline. Okay, so this is the midline of your body, and if you move your arm like this, that is away from this midline, it means abduction. Okay, and when you bring your arm closer to the midline like this, it means adduction. Okay, now medial and lateral rotation. So medial rotation basically means to move your arm medially or to medial side. Okay, like this. Okay, this is the medial rotation. And when you move your when you move your arm in outward direction, it means lateral rotation. So these are all the movements. You can also see these movements in these diagrams also. This one is the flexion. Okay, when the flexor surface is coming closer to the flexor surface of your body, and when you bring back to the normal position, it means extension. Okay, extension. And when you are moving your arm away from the midline, this is the midline, and when you are moving it away, it means abduction. And when you have bring back it to the normal position, it means adduction. Okay, and when you have moved it internally, this is medial rotation, and when you are moving it in outward direction, it means lateral rotation. So these are the movements of shoulder joint. So these are the movements. Now we will see the muscles which are helping in these movements. So first is flexion. So in flexion, we basically move our hand to the move our shoulder joint or arm to the anterior side. So the muscles which are on the anterior side, suppose in this model, the muscles which are in this region will help in the flexion, because this will pull your arm on the anterior side. Okay, so the muscles are anterior fibers of deltoid and clavicular head of clavicular head of pectoralis major muscle. Okay, these are the main muscles which are helping in the flexion, and the accessory muscles. Accessory muscles are coracobrachialis, and short head of bicep. Okay, now for extension. So for extension, we basically bring our hand back to the normal position. So for this we need to pull our hand from the back side. So the muscles of back side will help. So the posterior fibers of deltoid, and one big muscle which is originating from here and inserting on your arm is also helping you to pull back your arm to the normal position. Okay, that is latissimus dorsi muscle. So these are two main muscles, and then the accessory muscles are teres major, which is originating from the lateral border of scapula and inserting in the arm. So it is also pulling your arm back. So teres major, long head of tricep, and some part of pectoralis major also. Okay, now abduction. So in abduction you basically move your arm upward. So the muscles which are on the upper side of your shoulder joint will help to pull your arm like this. Okay, so the muscles on this region will act. So the first muscle will be your deltoid muscle, the main bulk which is on this region. Okay, so the deltoid muscle. Then we have supraspinatus, the name itself, it is present in the superior portion of your shoulder joint. So supraspinatus. Then you have now this is for up to the 90-degree abduction, and if you have to do abduction over this 90-degree, the serratus anterior will help. So this serratus anterior will basically act on the medial border of scapula. It pulls it downward. So that the glenoid cavity face upward. Okay, to prevent the dislocation. Okay, because if you will move your arm like this above your head, there are chances of dislocation. So to prevent this, the serratus anterior will pull your medial border of your scapula like this downward, so that your glenoid cavity will face like this to support the head of humerus. Okay, so that the glenoid face upward. Okay, and another muscle is some upper and lower fibers of trapezius also. Okay, trapezius muscle. Now for adduction. So in adduction, you move your arm back to the normal position from this to this. So the muscles which are on the inferior side will help to pull your arm back to the normal position. So the muscles which are on the inferior side will help. Okay, Now here there is no anterior and posterior, so the muscles like pectoralis major, latissimus dorsi, latissimus dorsi, and short and long head of short head of bicep and long head of tricep muscle. Okay. Short head of bicep and long head of tricep. Now for lateral and medial rotation. Fifth movement is medial rotation. So in medial rotation also you have to move your arm to the anterior side. So the muscles of anterior side mainly will help. So again the anterior fiber of deltoid, and pectoralis major, and latissimus dorsi, and teres major will help from back side to move your arm on the anterior side. Okay, so mainly the anterior muscles, and then for support the posterior muscles will help. Okay, now lateral rotation. So for lateral rotation the back side muscles will help. So we have posterior fiber of deltoid. Okay, posterior fiber of deltoid, and with that we also have teres minor muscle and infraspinatus. Okay, infraspinatus. So if you guys clearly see the origin and insertion of all these muscles, you will understand the movements very easily. Now we'll see the clinical points. So now we'll see some clinical points about shoulder joint. So the very first is for any joint is dislocation. Okay, dislocation. And shoulder joint is the most frequently dislocated joint, the joint which get dislocated. So most prone to dislocation. Okay, and mainly in which position? Abduction. Why this is more prone? Because we have already seen that glenoid is shallow, not as deep as the head to completely support the head. We have already seen in our previous videos of shoulder joint. That is why it becomes prone to dislocation. Okay, like the glenoid cavity is so shallow and the head is large, it could not completely support this head. Okay, and main position is abduction. Okay, and then the liable to injure axillary nerve. Okay, because it passes very close to this joint or around your head of humerus. Okay, that's why if the joint is dislocated, it can also injure the axillary nerve also. So you'll get the symptoms of injury to the axillary nerve. Now the second point is shoulder tip pain. Shoulder tip pain. So this is basically a referred pain. Referred pain from diaphragm. Okay, So it is referred pain from your diaphragm, which is this muscle, which is helping in respiration. Okay, so the nerve, phrenic nerve, which supplies the diaphragm, have a common nerve roots which supplies the shoulder joint. That's why whenever you have any irritation in this phrenic nerve, you will have a referred pain in the shoulder tip. Okay, now the third one is frozen shoulder. Frozen, it is kind of stiffness in the joint when two layers of synovial membrane adhere to each other. Okay, they stick together. So there is stiffness which restrict the movement. So movement is restricted, and there is pain also. Okay, it is mainly seen in the old age people. Okay, due to aging. Now the fourth one is when there is pain in whole abduction, it is indicating the arthritis. Okay, that is inflammation of joints. And if you have pain in specific angles of your abduction, that is from 120 to 60 degree. Okay, so it is indicating inflammation in your bursas or tendons, that is tendinitis or bursitis. So this is these are some clinical points of your shoulder joint. So with this we have completed the shoulder joint topic. Now in the next video we'll be covering the elbow joint, and then we'll be covering the wrist joint. So stay tuned for the next videos also. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share this video with your friends, subscribe the channel, also press the bell icon to get notified for the further videos. Thank you for watching this video.